Hey friends, my name is Deborah Cheek, the founder of Believing Wives, and I want to welcome you back to our YouTube channel. We are currently in a series entitled How to Love Your Husband Well. Last week, we discussed that loving our husbands well starts with being honest with ourselves. We focused on addressing issues in our hearts so that we could be freer to love them well. This week, I want to add another practical strategy to how to love our husbands well. And that's this: pay attention. Yes, sisters, we have to pay attention. It's very easy for us to slip into focusing on our careers, the laundry, our children, errands, and miss the things that are happening with our husbands right in front of our eyes. Sometimes we think they'll be fine or they don't need us that much, but they do. And we need to pay attention so that we can see how they need us. In Proverbs 31:27, we are told that the virtuous wife watches over the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. That means that the wise wife is looking out and looking at those who are in her care. What does paying attention to someone have to do with loving them well? The answer is simple. Love and attention are directly proportional. Love and attention are directly proportional. We give our time and attention to the things that are important to us. When we lose interest in something, it also loses its importance. So if we aren't demonstrating interest and attention to our spouse, they feel less important in our lives, which means they're going to feel less loved. That can be extremely damaging to our marriages. It's important to note that there is a degree of intentionality that goes into focusing on something, right? We have to choose to look away from the things that are calling for our attention: the dishes that need to be washed, the clothes that need to be folded, the work that needs to be done, all the other needful things, to choose what's most important. There are many clear problems that can arise when there's a lack of attention, but I want to give you three prominent ones. Number one, loss of connection. Without demonstrating interest in each other, we will drift further and further apart. We all want someone to see us, to listen to us, to know us. Our husbands are no different. If they don't feel paid attention to, they won't feel loved well. The best way to keep our connection strong is to be attentive to their moods, their words, and their needs. Number two, loss of intimacy. It stands to reason that if we are not connected, we won't be intimate. If we ignore our husbands, sooner or later, we will lose intimacy with them. That means more than losing sex. It means losing closeness and really knowing each other, in addition to sex. And number three, increased vulnerability to infidelity. Before I start this one, I want to be clear. Infidelity is a choice made by a partner. No one deserves to be cheated on. Having said that, if we ignore or dismiss our partners, we are putting our marriages at greater risk of infidelity. Our lack of attention leaves a hole unfilled in our partners' hearts. No, they shouldn't fill it with someone else's attention, but it does increase the likelihood that they will. So I've laid the groundwork for why we need to pay attention to our husbands, but let's take it a little further. If we do pay attention to them, we will hear their hearts. They will share through their conversations and body language the things that are weighing on their minds or the things that are concerning them. As we watch over the ways of our households, we will see and hear the areas in which they need our help and support. Then we can step up and love them well by giving them what we heard them communicate that they need. If we pay attention, we will know where they need our prayers and where they need us to be their biggest cheerleaders. So we have to pay attention. I'll leave you with these final reasons that we need to pay attention that are found in Scripture. The first is from 2 Corinthians 2:11, and it says, "Lest Satan should take advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." We pay attention or give careful watch to our husbands because we are not ignorant of the plans of the enemy. He is out to destroy our marriages, and he will use distance and our lack of attention just as much as he will use a seductive coworker with a listening ear. The second scripture is 1 Peter 5:8, And it tells us, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. We are watchful, sober, and vigilant, so that we are not victims of the enemy's plans. We're sober, we're alert, so that we can see, so that we can thwart attacks, and so that we can be at the ready. This week, I encourage you, pay attention to your husband. Listen to what he says without scrolling on your phone or looking at the TV. Look at him while he's trying to engage with you and show interest in the things that he brings to you. If you pay attention well, you will find that you are loving him well too. I'll see you next week with another installment in this series where I'm going to give 5 practical ways to love our husbands well. Until then, remember, changed wives change lives.